This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Sex and Singapore City podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hi, it's Nixalina. In fact, I'm starting to introduce myself every Monday with a new, hey, it's Nixalina. Hi, it's Nixalina. That was for my cats, because I'm sure only cats and dogs could hear that. How are we all doing? How is your Monday? I hope it's not been a long, boring day. I hope work's been okay for you. And of course, you've got home and you're chilling and hey, it's Nixalina's new episode. Yes, it fucking is. And I love this topic. Today, we're talking about friends with benefits. Does it ever work? Oh, interesting. Okay, for those of you who don't know, friends with benefits means we're not together, but you like me and I like you and we're going to have sex. A lot. But we're just friends. We're cool with that, you know? It's my homie. We're just friends, we hang, but we also have sex. We like having sex, but we're not together. It also means we can date other people, but we're still super cool. We're friends with benefits. YOLO, happy days, best of both worlds. That's the gist. So many issues with friends with benefits label, and I think we need to tease this apart together. So, my first problem that arises with a friends with benefits relationship label, because it is a label, even though what you're doing is avoiding putting a label on it, it's still a label, is that it means you can both date around and fuck other people. Absolutely fine if you both are happy with that, but I often find that the idea of something is a lot easier than going through with it. So I'm sure if I had a friends with benefits guy and he was like, oh yeah, I've fucked this really awesome girl last night, there would be a jealousy spark in me. I'm sure there would. I'd be like, yeah, no, you're fucking not doing that anymore. You got to delve, when you have these very honest conversations with your friends with benefits, you have to be really crystal clear that that is both exactly what you want. If one of you is saying, yeah, I want friends with benefits because you want to have sex with them, but secretly you want more, then yeah, not going to work. You might even have a talk where you're both exclusively only having sex with each other. I mean, how much sex can one person have, you know? How many times I'm going to have to shave my legs, or get a wax, it just sounds exhausting, doesn't it? But yeah, so say you're right, you're my friends with benefits. Let's not fuck anyone else. Cool, let's not do that. But we can date other people. Oh, yeah, sure. Right? I feel like I would still feel perhaps even more so that they're mine, because I know that they're being sexually exclusive to me. So that then when they were on dates with other women, I would still probably be like, oh, how was it? Or, is she pretty? Do you love her? Please don't marry her. Well, this is a very dramatic episode. I've had way too much coffee today. Way too much. So yeah, for me, the blurred lines is a very blurry space to live. If I know what I'm like, I would probably say, yeah, friends with benefits is fantastic. And then I'd be like, yep, I'm in love with you, dude. Can you stop fucking around? And then they'll be like, we're just friends with benefits. The reason we're just friends with benefits is because I don't see you as a partner. So no. And then I'll be all sad and heartbroken. FYI, not happened to me. I've never been friends with benefits ever. So this is just how I am depicting in my head an imaginary scenario of how I would act. Another problem with friends with benefits is thus, you could start off both believing it's okay being friends with benefits, but then as you go on and you get more and more friendly with each other and you have more and more sex, you might then develop feelings. So you could go in wholeheartedly yeah, you're my bro. I fucking love your dick. I think you're great. Don't want a relationship, but let's do us. But then you're like, oh shit, I think about him all the time. Oh God, I was thinking about him when I woke up in the morning. I was thinking about him before I went to bed. He's been online and he's not texted me back. I wonder who he's texting. That's fine. He can text anyone he wants. We're just friends. Oh, I hope he's not texting another girl. Oh, it's fine if he is. Oh, what if he's with someone? He hasn't been online all night. I bet he was on a date. Oh my God, what if he took her back to his? Can you see how that would go? That is a lot of angst and worry for someone who is not committed to you. So that would be another concern of mine, that you can still even go in wholeheartedly, fully respecting the FWB boundaries. And shit, man, you develop feelings over time. Who fucking knew that would happen? I mean, we all know. We all know. I will get to some positives, I'm sure, about friends with benefits. But at the moment, it just seems all quite negative. What it also does, in my eyes, is blocks you off from perhaps having a spark with someone else that could be committed to you. Because I'm a one guy girl, right? I struggle to fancy more than one person. So say and I don't mean this in like I only date one person. I am happy to go on dates and stuff, but as soon as I feel myself very drawn to one guy, I then struggle to continue dating other people because I'm like, oh, I know I'm not in it. Because I'm not in it because I like him. I feel like if I was in an FWB with a guy and I'm having sex with him, I clearly like him as a person, obviously, because we're friends, we hang out, we're having sex, then I probably wouldn't entertain someone else. In which case, I'll probably then be exclusive just by the nature of my personality. And then if the guy's not exclusive, which he doesn't have to be, you're just mates, that would probably hurt me. Am I saying anything, people here, that you guys disagree with, by the way? Like, are you in a friends with benefits relationship and you're like, no, it totally works? I would love to hear from you. Do slide into my DMs. Yes, I want you to slide into my DMs. Instagram @NickSelina. But I just feel like it's a whole world of pain waiting to happen. There are plus sides, I'm sure, to friends with benefits. One being, you could actually both have previous stipulations in your past that has made you wary of being in a relationship, but you really like each other. And if you go down FWB route, you'll actually be opening up. Literally. Open me up, motherfucker. Oh, no wonder I'm single. Oh, God. So you'll be opening up to each other. Perhaps together you get to a place where you're like, oh, shit, I really like you. Like, this is actually it. Because let's call a spade a spade. The best relationships are built on friendship, not lust, not immediate infatuation, not, oh my God, you're my soulmate after 5 days, which has happened to me. No, it's built on friendship. So actually, hold on a fucking second. There is a chance here that you guys are so cool together and you've developed your friendship first and foremost and love being around each other. Then you discover sex is great. That's why FWB happens. And then hang on a fucking second, some more. You guys actually want to be together. That does happen. And that could be actually one of the best ways to get into a relationship. That being said, you can't fixate on that as a potential option unless both of you want it. This is where the blurry lines happen, because if I'm like, yo, he's definitely going to fall in love with me. I'm definitely already in love with him. Babies by 2025. If he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, sweetheart, but we're just friends, then you're destined for failure. So yes, it can happen. It just depends on how invested both of you are to begin with. I think that's it. You have to both be on the same page at every step of the way. And if one point one of you turns the page and the other hasn't turned it, you're fucked. Just go and buy another book or burn the book completely. Another issue that I want to raise with FWB is that if you enter into the sexual part after you've been friends for a really long time, it can completely damage your friendship. You can feel, this got awkward, or feelings start to happen, or I don't know, sex is shit, because that would be fucking awkward, and then you can't like look each other in the eye anymore. You are risking taking your friendship to that next level. You are risking the friendship. Oh, it's such a hard one, isn't it? Even when I talk this through, I'm like, what a difficult bloody topic, because you are risking the friendship, but what if you're risking it for something fucking awesome? What do you guys think? I'm really stumped for this subject. I've never done FWB. I've only ever been dating guys that want to like see me for a bit. They'll tell me they can't commit. I'm just thinking back to my 20s. But it won't be, oh yeah, we're just friends. I've never had that in my life because I've never agreed to it, ever. Now I'm 33 years young, bastards for saying old. Now I'm 33 years young and single. I do not foresee in any near future of mine that I want to be in a relationship. I just don't. I'm a career girl. I'm such a career girl, and my career is taking off, and I don't think that I want to rush back into being someone's fucking emotional punching bag. And, you know, my cats don't like men. In all seriousness, I'm not looking for anything, right? And actually, I'm starting to think that FWB could really suit me, because I would love to hang out with someone. I would love to have sex with that person that I'm hanging out with, but not have that pressure of the relationship. So maybe I've become like all the men that I used to date when I was in my 20s. Like, yo, I really like hanging out with you and sex is awesome, but I'm not here for the long time. Maybe I'm the casual fun girl. I don't know. But yeah, I don't want a relationship. And this is now when I'm like, okay, so say if you guys are like me, you're like, I've got someone I really like, don't want a relationship, then FWB does seem like a good plan. Is that the better option than taking to Tinder and finding a fuck buddy? Because that's also another, like, yeah, there's my friendship over in that corner, but I really want sex, so I'm going to go and put that in the other corner. And I'm going to go on Tinder or Bumble, whatever, and I'm going to create a fuck buddy for fun that I'm not, you know, super emotionally connected with, but very sexually connected with. And then I got my friendship with that person who I love hanging out with, and I don't want to destroy that. So that's another option to go down as well. Whether that's better than... Because then what could happen is perhaps you could have something flourishing potentially with your friend that you turn down FWB because you don't want to ruin it. But then actually here comes Tinder guy who kind of sweeps you off your feet. And then maybe you have feelings for him. So then you neglect the friendship anyway. And maybe the friendship should have been the option you should have gone down. Oh, man. Isn't dating hard, guys? Isn't it sometimes a punch in the face? Can friendship with benefits ever work? Yes, it can, is the answer. Of course it can. It depends solely, but not solely, that's not the right word. It depends on how you both go into it to begin with. It depends how honest you are with each other and yourself. If you go into it pretending that you don't like them when you really, really do. Like if you want them as your boyfriend and he's saying, look, I'm not committing to you at all, we're just friends, don't go into that whole setup, right? You have to be very honest with yourself, honest with each other. If you're both on the same page, yeah, it can work. There is always that potential though, because you're not committed, that one of you will find someone that they are attracted to on that level where they do want to then commit or whatever, and you have to be prepared for that. You can't then turn around and act like a needy partner because you're not. You're an FWB. You can't jeopardize the friendship by being like, oh, I can't be with you if you date someone now. I've got to cut you out of my life. Because that's kind of not fair, because that goes against the whole FWB rules where, like, if you both meet someone or one of you meets someone, then you go back to being just friends, but the friendship still exists. Unless you struggle to be friends with someone that you fucked before. Which is also, I guess, quite a tricky thing, isn't it? Because how would you go back to just hanging out when, you know, you sucked his dick? Tricky, isn't it? Yes, it can work. But yes, there are a lot of issues that arise when I think about friends with benefits, and it's a very, very dodgy territory. I personally would avoid it myself at all costs just because I know what I'm like. Like, I do get attached to people very quickly. Especially me now, like Nixalina right now at this time in my life, not interested at all. Nixalina in her 20s would have said yes to FWB in the hopes it became a relationship, which it probably wouldn't because, of course. But yeah, for me, I like clear cut. So if you're my boy mate, we're just friends. If I'm screwing you, we like each other. If I'm screwing you regularly, you're not dating anyone else because, like, I don't want your dick all over fucking town and then coming around mine every week, you know? I'm like, yeah, I'm a one-man girl. And I kind of like the guy, if he's invested in me on any level, to be a one-girl guy. That doesn't mean I'm like, yo, let me make you my boyfriend after date one or anything. That just means, like, I like a little bit of exclusivity when I have sex with someone or when I'm emotionally invested. If I'm spending time with you or I'm texting you, I'm emotionally invested, right? Other than that, I'm just a fucking ice queen. I'm such a bitch. Maybe I should do an episode on that. I'm terrible. I really am. But yeah, friends with benefits. I feel like what I need at this point is someone to come forward and talk to me about their FWB experience. So I want to know, did you have it? Did it work? Did it not work? Have I said anything where you're like, fuck, yeah, that was me. I thought it was going to work. It didn't. Or it ruined my friendship. Or, yeah, we started off as FWB and now we're together and planning our future. Like, I want to know some stories around this topic because it's quite a grey area and it's very hard for me to sit here and dictate or, you know, say all the guidelines or the rules or points 1 to 10 because actually it's a blurry fucking grey line. So, yes, guys, hit me up. Thank you for listening. And maybe once I hear all your feedback, I'll do an FWB episode, like, anonymously, but maybe I'll tell some tales so we can pick it apart and see whether it is a good thing or not. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Sex and Singapore City podcast. This episode was produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded at the Splicecast studio in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more awesome content and features to read, you can check out my website, sexandsingaporecity.com. That's sexandsingaporecity.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search @Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.